Every morning, I wake up to the sound of my dogs barking around the compound while they are tapping their toes on the floor. They are excited and ready to play with me in the compound. I get out of my house, put on my shoes, and head outside with them. As you can see, he's running up and down, excited to play with me. So I'm also excited, to play around with my dogs. The air is cool, of course, in the morning. The grass is wet with the morning dew, as you can see in this video. We start our play. My dogs run around the yard, chasing after a ball or each other. Of course, in this video, you won't see a ball, but that's one of the routines that we have with my dogs. Their tails wag and their eyes sparkle with joy. I laugh as I run with them around the compound, feeling happy and free. We play until we get tired, their tongues hanging out as they catch their breath and, using the toilet as usual, as you saw that one running around using the toilet. After our play, we sit together on the grass. Of course, it's not easy to sit with them because they keep on running up and down. Of course, I pet them gently, feeling their warm fur under my arms. They rest. They tend to rest a bit and then keep on running. They rest a bit and keep on running. And I feel deep sense of peace and love they give me. These dogs are really important. They are a source of security in our home, and it's quite a joy to have them part of our family. After having fun with them, of course, it's time to work and have some little time with my family as we pray, as we sing, and as we dance. Always it's really important to begin the day with your family in prayer so that the Lord starts with you. Moses once said that, God, if you do not go with us, we cannot set foot out of this place. So in the same way, in the morning, we tell God that without you, we can do nothing. We cannot achieve anything substantial. So that's why we pray every day in the morning with my family. Then after that, it is time to go to work. It's a very good routine, and I believe God is happy when you involve him the very beginning of the day. One day, a customer asked me to create an art piece from backcloth. They had a special request. I could only use natural and organic materials. Wow, it was really challenging for me. This was something new for me, and it sounded both exciting as well as difficult to accomplish. So I started by thinking about the materials I could use. Backcloth was the main material, but I needed to find, as you look around for others that were also natural. I searched for things like there's this material like natural dyes from plants, leaves, and even small pieces of wood. It was like a puzzle trying to figure out how everything would come out and how everything will eventually appear when I'm complete. At first it was a bit hard. I was used to using other materials, so this was a very big challenge for me. But as I worked, I began to enjoy it. I love the feel of the fabric cloth and the way the natural colors came out when I used them on the art piece. I used the plant dyes, and of course I used some other things like, they look like pins, but they were quite natural. So the more I worked, the more ideas I kept on receiving and getting. Slowly, the art piece, started to come to shape. I used the backcloth as the base, carefully adding the natural materials. The colors were soft and earthy. Of course, I have some black somewhere, as you can see in that video. There's a bit of black. The colors were, of course, soft and earthy and black, and there were some tones of cream. And the textures felt warm and real. It was difficult from anything I had made before, but I was proud of it, and I was eager to produce something new that I had never produced before. When I finished, of course, some of the beats, some of the cutting, as you can see in the machine, every piece that I had finished cutting, the customer would always once in a while come in to see how far I've gone. Of course, they were happy and loved how the natural and the organic and how organic it looked. I felt a sense of accomplishment. Even though it was challenging, it was also fun, and there was a lot to learn during the process. As I worked on the art piece using backcloth and only natural materials, things started getting tough. Some of the materials I needed were not easy to find. I really had to travel, to different local villages to get them. These villages were quite far away, and the journey was not always easy because I had to use the car to go to different places that were quite bushy. I packed my things and set out on the journey. The roads were long and sometimes rough, but I was determined to find the right materials for my art. And when I reached the villages, I met with the elderly people, because most of these materials can only be gotten by elderly people, because they're the ones who used to use them when they were still young. So meeting the elderly people in the community was part of the journey. They were very kind and welcomed me warmly most of the times. The elders knew a lot, they always knew, of course, a lot about natural materials. They showed me how to find the best plants for dyes and where to collect special leaves and fibers. They also taught me how to handle the backcloth with care. It's very easy to pour water on it when you're not used to this kind of material. So they taught me how to handle it, how to keep it, how to fold it. I learned so much from them. And it was a good experience working with people who had such deep knowledge. Even though it was hard work and took a lot of time, I enjoyed the process. Talking with the elders and learning from them made the journey worthwhile, though it was a bit long. They shared stories about how they used to use these materials in the past, and it made me feel connected to their traditions. And you get to learn new traditions when you travel the villages and meet those elders. After gathering everything I needed, I returned to the studio. I felt proud of what I had learned and the effort I had put in. The art piece was now more than just a project. It was a mix of my creativity and the wisdom of the community of the elders that I met. Even though it was tough, the experience made the art more interesting and the art piece even more and more special to me. Not only the customer, but I began loving this art piece because of the different materials. Look at the shells there. Those are seashells. Some of them I didn't get them from the local community, but I had to move around several places to get these materials. The backcloth, the plant dyes, the leaves, and the fibers, they felt so connected to each other, because since all of them were natural, so the art piece wasn't kind of isolated from the materials, so everything felt connected to each other. It was special to know that everything I was using came from nature. I enjoyed the step. Every step that I took, I was so much in joy, from preparing the backcloth to carefully adding the materials to stitching. It was quite an interesting journey for me. I really loved, and I really felt like I think I should produce more of these art pieces. Right now you can see that I've been using a lot of recycled art, and sometimes I use a lot of glue, I use a lot of pins. And then I felt like, after producing that art piece, I was like, there's a lot in nature that we can use to produce art, so that we can continue conserving the environment. The more you use the natural materials, the more you plant more, so that you can conserve the environment and spread this love for natural materials to our young children as well, such that they can also conserve the environment instead of just wasting it. I know the journey was so nice, and thank you for following me as I tell you about the story of my journey using natural materials. So please, if you've loved the story and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell button so that you can receive all the videos that we put out for you to learn more about natural materials and art. Thank you so much for keeping on my channel, and I promise to give you more and more authentic content so that you can love it more and more.